on the news.
New research finding intermittent fasting may pose risks to your heart, the practice where people eat within an 8-hour window or less. Researchers finding it poses a significant risk of dying from cardiovascular disease.
When it comes to fasting, there's a lot of misinformation floating around, and one of the most common myths is that fasting slows down your metabolism. But here's the truth. It all depends on how you fast.
Ever wondered if skipping meals could actually be good for you? And if you have, I bet you've also asked, will I be hungry or will it make me tired and irritable? There are several ways to fast and for different durations. I will be sharing the different strategies and reasons for fasting so you can stick with it and reap the benefits. Make sure and watch until the end where I will give you tips to be successful. Also, remember to check with your doctor before starting any fasting regime, especially if you've got health issues. What is fasting all about? Fasting isn't just about not eating, it's a practice steeped in history with some pretty innovative modern adaptations. Throughout history, fasting has been a significant part of many religions. For example, Muslims fast during Ramadan, Christians during Lent, and Jews on Yom Kippur. These practices are not only about physical abstinence, but also about spiritual purification, self-discipline, and community. Fasting was used in ancient Greek, Roman, and Egyptian civilizations for health, healing, and even as a method to enhance mental clarity. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, recommended fasting for health issues. Many indigenous cultures practiced fasting as a rite of passage or for healing, often linked with spiritual or communal events. Today, people practice intermittent fasting. This isn't your grandma's fasting, and it has taken the health and fitness world by storm with methods like the 16-8, where you eat within an 8-hour window and fast for 16 hours. There's also the 5-2 diet, where you eat normally for 5 days and restrict calories on 2 days. These approaches are backed by research suggesting benefits like improved insulin sensitivity, weight loss, and possibly even longevity. Fasting mimicking diets, developed by scientists like Dr. Walter Longo, involves eating specific low-calorie, nutrient-rich foods to mimic the effects of fasting without completely abstaining from food. It's designed to promote cellular repair and extend health span. Apps now exist to help you track your fasting window, provide reminders, and even connect you with a community for support. This modern twist makes fasting more accessible and tailored to individual lifestyles. This blend of ancient wisdom with modern science and technology has transformed fasting from a mere act of not eating into a holistic health strategy. It's about giving your body a break, not just from food, but from the constant cycle of digestion, allowing it to focus on repair, regeneration, and optimization of various bodily functions. Whether it's for spiritual growth, physical health, or mental clarity, fasting's rich history combined with its contemporary applications offers something for everyone looking to enhance their well-being. Here's the rundown on the different types and how to be successful. 16-8 method. You fast for 16 hours and eat in an 8-hour window. You are allowed water, coffee, and tea. You refrain from sweeteners and no cream. You can expect to get hungry. This is because you aren't used to going long periods without food, but don't worry. This won't last. After about a week, your body will become accustomed to not eating. Try and stay busy in the beginning to keep yourself distracted and drink lots of water. It's important to keep your water intake up because while you're fasting, the water flushes out waste and toxins. To calculate how much to drink, take your body weight in pounds and drink that amount in ounces of water per day. It might seem like a lot at first because most of us don't drink the recommended daily amount. Whether you fast or not, you will feel better drinking more water. Get plenty of sleep. There are several reasons for doing this. If you go to bed early, you're less likely to get cravings. Most people tend to snack from after dinner until before bed. Getting proper sleep also improves metabolism, boosts weight loss, and relieves stress, all of which will help you stay on track while fasting. 5-2 diet. You eat normally 5 days a week and cut calories on 2 days. As you can see, there is different calorie intake for men and women. Alternate day fasting. You switch between normal eating and fasting days. You can fast for 24 hours or eat only a few hundred calories total on a fasting day. OMAD diet. This is eating only one meal a day, all your calories in one sitting. But be careful. Sometimes eating unhealthy choices for your one meal can leave you crashing and later increasing your cravings. Many carnivore dieters use OMAD because their one meal consists of only meat. Meat is very high in protein and fat, which increases longer satiety. But why would you want to do this? As I've said, fasting can tweak your insulin levels, kickstart cellular repair, rev up your metabolism, and might even help you live longer. And there's even more benefits. Here's what Dr. Jason Fung has to say.
At risk of cancer, at risk of heart disease, at risk of strokes, at risk of blindness, at risk of kidney disease, nerve damage, infections. All these people you can fix just by changing their diet, either cutting down the carbohydrates or using intermittent fasting. And it's free. And anybody can do it. I'm not talking about a drug that costs thousands of dollars. I'm not talking about a surgery which is only available to the 1%. I'm talking about a treatment, which is intermittent fasting, which is available to everybody in the entire world for free, and yet has the power to completely reverse their disease and make them so much healthier.
Research from the University of Illinois found that alternate day fasting can lead to weight loss while keeping your muscle mass intact, which is a concerning side effect of using GLP-1 drugs.
UIC researchers examine the science and debunk each of these myths. Krista Verity, a professor of kinesiology and nutrition and lead author on the article, has been studying intermittent fasting for 20 years and says there's a lot of misinformation out there. But it's based on personal opinions, not science.
But it's not all about losing weight. There's more to it. Dr. Mindy Pelz explains,
24-hour fasting. This is hands down my favorite. It's one I do quite often. There is tremendous research that shows 24-hour fasting is the magic sweet spot, and let me explain why. So remember that the longer you fast, the more you turn on different switches. And when you hit that 24-hour mark, there are three major things that happen. So the first one we've talked about, which is you reboot intestinal stem cells. Any of you that are having gut issues, any of you that are needing to want to absorb more nutrients out of your food, if you want a stronger immune system, if you want neurotransmitters to be plentiful in your brain, that is the 24-hour fast, and it's going to reboot those intestinal stem cells. So we love that.
So how do you get started without diving into the deep end?
If you're brand new to fasting, we want to make sure that you are doing more of a gradual approach, which looks like push the breakfast back a half an hour, then push it back another hour. Slowly push that breakfast back and make sure you're not eating 8, 9 o'clock at night so that you can make sure your eating window gets compressed in a gradual way. Some of you may just want to rip the Band-Aid off and start fasting longer and longer. Just be aware that the goal of a fasting lifestyle is for you to be able to sustain it, not for you to have a temporary result.
Plan your meals. When you do eat, make it count with nutrient-rich foods. Think veggies, proteins, and healthy fats. Again, sticking to fasting takes some strategy.
Consistency!
Set consistent eating times to train your body.
Can you watch something besides me?
Keep busy. Do something you love when hunger hits. Jen Stevens has some advice on dealing with feeling hungry. She says, cravings are more in your head than in your stomach. Drink some water, distract yourself, and remember, they'll pass.
That we will eat until we've met our protein needs for the day. Like that's part of satiety, is making sure you've had enough protein. I genuinely believe that we are meant to know when we need to eat more and know when we haven't had enough. And so the beauty of intermittent fasting is you really do learn to listen to your body. You know, on a day when I go to Pilates, I do reformer Pilates once a week. When I go to reformer Pilates and I'm doing an hour on those machines, working my muscles, I might get home and be like, why am I a little hungrier today? I open a little early and maybe my body's like, ooh, I want some meat. I don't eat meat every day, but maybe that day I'm craving like some red meat or something. My body is asking for a little bit more. And so I eat a little bit more that day. You really can reconnect with your hunger and satiety signals and know how much you need to eat and if you need to add more. Your body will let you know because you'll be hungry. You should not have to white knuckle it and make yourself, if it's miserable, something's not working. In our community, we have a saying, tweak it till it's easy. And that is really how intermittent fasting should feel. It should feel easy, the fasting part and the eating part. When you're in balance and you have figured out the right amount of fasting that feels good, the right amount of eating window, the foods that you eat within your window that satisfy your body nutritionally, physically, and emotionally. I think all three of those are important.
Find a fasting buddy.
Be my friend.
Or join online groups. Write down how you feel, what you eat, and track your progress. What are the long-term benefits? Weight management. Sure, but it's also about overall metabolic health, heart health, and brain function. Many people find they think clearer and focus better while fasting. Dr. Mark Hyman shares his perspective.
So what happens when you activate this ancient healing system? Well, first, you radically change your hormones, your cells, and your genes. You change your gene expression and optimize expression that controls inflammation, that increases your antioxidant systems, that gets rid of belly fat, that builds muscle, that increases your brain and focus and cognitive function, because when you're starving, you got to go look for food. You want to be alert. It helps build your bone density. It increases your beneficial hormones. It helps growth hormone, and it also helps repair your cells. It also activates something really extraordinary, which is something called autophagy and mitophagy. What does that mean? It means your body has a system of cleaning up and recycling old parts. And when you don't do that, you end up with a lot of old parts.
What about the worries? Muscle loss, not if you eat enough protein during your eating window. Nutrient deficiency. Eat nutrient-dense foods when you break your fast. Social eating. Plan your social life around your eating window, or do non-food activities.
Got to stop looking for the quick fix.
Achieving health is a long game, and fasting is just one tool, but it's a powerful one that is inexpensive to implement and holds a ton of benefits. Give it a shot, but do it smart. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you got something out of this, give it a like, subscribe, and drop your fasting experiences in the comments. See you in the next video, and keep striving for that health goal.